On everybody. So I have received hundreds of questions over the last week, to which I will be responding to the biggest question I have received, and that is, what exactly happened? So once we do get a full chat here, I'll definitely be going over that, because I know for a fact if I just start early and I just explain this, I will have to explain it probably like 8 or 9 more times. But it is good to be back, and I am happy to be back, so it is all good and well. What is going on, BitCloud? Nice to see you, man. Thanks for showing up. And for everybody coming in, hey, big shout out to everybody who supported me as I was recovering. Hospitalization sucks, and we are going to be talking about that today. And I was reading a lot of the comments, man. I tell you what, it was humbling to say the least, and it made me very happy, you know, because, you know, when you're just a guy, like I'm just like you guys. I'm like every other person out there, and reading a lot of the comments as I'm sick, I mean, like, I'm on essentially what's my deathbed here, okay, and I'm not doing very well, and I had all this support come out, and I was like, oh my god, like, I want to keep going, I want to keep fighting on, of course, on top of my family and all that. And, you know, my wife is there, and she's by my bedside reading the comments out loud to me. She's like, hey, you know, you got to keep fighting. People love you. You know, we're here. You know, and she's like keeping me motivated. And I tell you, man, it fucking sucked. Like, it sucked so bad, man. Like, the first day, I was just gone. Absolutely gone. Had no idea what was going on. I felt numbness in my fingertips. I was dizzy. I couldn't do a whole lot. I was throwing up. I was a mess, dude. I was a total mess. And it got to the point where I went to the hospital, and dude, like, let me just say, hospitals are a fucking joke, okay? Like, they sit there and they play games with you before you can even get in there. They don't want to give out wait times. They don't want to say anything. You know, it's all just kind of like tight-lipped or whatever. And it's just like, honestly, that sucked balls. Like, it really did. Like, they didn't want to help at all. And finally, got admitted, and then they were running tests for like 3 days, couldn't find out what the hell it was. They just knew it was really, really bad, and they're like, this is really bad. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't tell me anything, what's going on? And they had no idea how to find it. Some weird virus strand, no idea how the hell I caught it. They just did not know what to do. So after 3 days of running tests, I was like, screw this, I'm not racking up all this debt. And I just said, you know what, the hell with it, and we left. And I was home. And my wife has been nursing me back to health, even still to this day. Like, I'm only like 90% right now, but I said, you know, you guys have been like killing the comment section. You guys have been like really showing the love, sending in prayers and all that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I was like, you know, on top of it, you know, so I appreciate it most definitely. And yeah, dude, like, it freaking sucked, but my wife was killing it though, man. Like, taking care of me. Like, I felt like such a burden. I really did. And yeah, it's not been an easy couple of days. It was hell. I don't think I've ever been this sick in my life, and yeah, it was definitely humbling. But came back from the valley of the shadows of death, or however they say it, bro. I was so close to dying. I'm so happy I'm not dead though. So that's good, still alive. I don't know if any of you guys seen The Croods, but I feel like the grandmother from The Croods. She's like, still alive. That's what I feel like right now. So it's good to be back. BitCloud says, glad you recovered. We've got a lot of people saying, what's up, Q? What's going on to everybody who stopped by today? David Gonzalez, he said, glad Q is back live. Yeah, man, it's good to be back, dude. I'll tell you, the one thing that really sucks is being hospitalized. Not my thing. Not my thing at all. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure you know, send them over, ask. You know, I'm right here. You know, I'll answer whatever you guys have for me. So let's see. You said, Kat says, we are happy. Or wait, hold on. We're happy you are here. I appreciate it, man. It's good to be back. I mean, like, really though, like, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys out there have experienced near-death experiences, but like, I mean, I'm not like obviously flatlining or anything in the ER room or anything, but it's enough to where, you know, you're definitely going in and out of critical health for sure. And, you know, when the nurses and the doctors are panicking and they don't know what the hell, that makes it even worse. So, yeah, not my thing. Not my thing at all, but that definitely wasn't good. So, the thing that really sucked, though, was having rolling veins. I don't know how many of you guys have rolling veins, but I have that shit, and they had to stick me like fucking like 7 times to get one vein. Oh my god, it was Oh, I hate it, bro. It was the worst. It was just the worst. So, yeah, not my thing, though. Thanks, Ryan. You said, glad you're better, bro. Hope all is well. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be better. I was going to come out with a video. I was like, I really should like let all you guys know like immediately, like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm doing well, but my wife's over here and she's my brain in all of this. She's like, okay, listen, mister, you need to make sure that you have at least 24 hours of normal health, okay, before you start trying to hop on a live stream or before you start trying to make videos and all that, because I'm reckless. I'm there like barely walking, I'm like, I've got to make a video, like I'm an idiot. But so she gets me to ground myself and all this, so that's really good. Yeah, not my thing, dude. Like, who would have thought? Dying, not fun. So I'm not dead, obviously, but it felt like the worst thing ever to have bad health. So yeah, it's good. I appreciate all the support. It's party time. You said, Q, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. I agree. I mean, I swear, I walk out like with like a new perspective of life and everything. You got me like looking at every little like tree, and like I'm looking at the sun shine through the leaves now, like this could have been it, but it wasn't, and I'm like being all weird and stuff. So definitely strange. What's going on, Joseph White? You said I have but wasn't very aware. What happened, man? Like with your situation, if you don't mind sharing, I'd be interested to know. And what's going on, Kelly Ravad? What's happening? You said, did you say losing fingers in your fingers earlier? Yeah, I was losing fingers, feeling in the fingers. I had like this thing where like my veins would tighten and they would get really, really like hot and warm, and it was like really, really bad. And then like I could not walk. It was like, guys, I kid you not, it was like gravity pushing down on my head. And like at first when I got there, the doctor was like, oh, we've seen this before, it's an ear infection. I was like, in fact, it is not an ear infection. I clean my damn ears, and then they were like running tests and they're like, wait, it's not an ear infection. I'm like, I just told you that, and like it was just this whole ridiculous thing. But yeah, like the numbness in the fingertips was a bitch, because it's like, imagine, it was only like 3 fingers too. It was scary as hell. Like I had no idea what the hell to even do. It was just the worst thing, dude. Like it was ridiculous though. We got Paige. You said, happy QA Friday. You said, how are you, QA? I'm doing much better. I appreciate it. We've got Chris. You said, rolling veins must be a burnt Caucasian thing. Oh gosh. This is the funniest thing ever. Oh man, I love it. We've got Kelly Rivard. He said LMAO, WTF, Chris. What's going on, Joseph? You said you went into shock from antibiotics. Yeah, dude, those drugs, man, like that's the thing, like that, like I just was not having. Like when they were like trying to prescribe me all these damn painkillers, they're like, oh yeah, man, if you're in pain, we have this drug and that drug. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing drugs, like legit, like outside of like just the generic what I need to survive. I had like an IV going, like as far as like normal stuff. I don't know what that means. It was like, they're very vague. There was ibuprofen that I had taken. There was, just generic over-the-counter BS as far as I'm concerned. You know me, I'm like Wreck-It Ralph. I feel like I could fix it myself kind of guy. I'm like, there's nothing you did special, So I don't know, but that's crazy, man. You went into shock from antibiotics like that. I don't know. I tend to fight the doctors a lot more especially when they're talking about needles. And you know what pisses me off? I say it like 8 times. I'm like, I have rolling veins. I need a specialist. And they're always like, oh, I could do it. And they always stick me like 3 times in, and then they're just like, Tina? What is this? I've never seen this before. It's so strange. You're in the medical field and you have no idea what rolling veins are. Like freaking morons, all of them. Yeah, it was, oh my god. Just talking about it, I get angry. I want to hit the doctor just thinking about it, bro. What's good on? Paige says, does any of the Samsung 2019 TVs catch your eye? Or catch your eye you have to have? No, none of them caught my eye. None of the new TVs were worth anything to me. I felt like all the new TVs, crappy. Just in general. They didn't try very hard. What's going on, Jeff? You said, I feel you. I almost died as well. 30 days in the hospital. Damn, bro. What happened, my dude? 30 days. Like, this last week was hell for me. Like, it was, like, I can only imagine what 30 days of that shit was. Oh, my God. Oh. I would want to live in a right-to-die state, dude. Like, oh, my God. Like, 30 days and, like, that kind of... Oh, man. That's not good. Nah, 30 days, dude. That's scary already. Like, I'm like 30 days of that. Like, no, there's no way, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. What's going on, Medic? What's happening? You said, I'm happy you are better. Oh, message retracted. Well, I hope we hear from you again, brother. I don't know what happened there. It was just like a message there, and it was just like shadowed. All right, but it kind of shows here on my end. So it says, I'm happy you are better and home with your family. And you're saying, I'd review any hospitals. I guess you were asking if, like, you review any hospitals. Yeah, I mean, I feel like with hospitals are trash. Definitely trash. And a lot of them know you need the service, so they're not going to try for you. They're just like, you're going to die anyway. I don't care. And then the reviews don't help when you get out of that place or when you're going in. And a lot of these reviews are like, go here if you want to die. You're like, that's encouraging. You know, and it's scary as hell, so yeah, not my thing. Jeff says, gallbladder attack imploded during surgery. Damn. I can only imagine the pain that must have been like. The only thing I'm like super duper terrified about is like those damn kidney stones. I hear like those are like the most painful thing for a dude to have, and to pass a kidney stone as a dude. So I was like, the whole time I'm there, I'm like, I hope this isn't a fucking kidney stone issue. I really do. Kelly Ravad says, yikes. Ryan asks, any advice for me because I bought an LG SK9000, not good in the dark room. What should I exchange it for? Honestly, dude, this year sucks. They didn't try with basically any of the TVs, and your best bet is looking in older years. Like 2018 was a pretty decent year, even though that was a stopgap year too. They tried a little harder than 2019, current year, and that's just really unfortunate. And I hate being the bearer of bad news, because I know when I say like, hey, don't buy this TV, a lot of people are just like, oh well, then you're just negative and you hate everything. So, you know, what to buy then? Nothing? Watch a wall? But the reality is, when things are that bad, dude, like, you're better off just sitting on your money, because they did not try this year. I mean, even like this year, like when you look at the new OLED line, the box is exactly the same as last year. They didn't even try to trick you by giving you a new box. It's literally the same print, same color, same everything. And then the same goes for the remote and all that. Like, there is no effort this year, guys. And when you're talking about exchanging it, it's hard, because it really depends on a lot of different factors. But I would try to find like a Q8FN. The 900E is still a great television if you're looking for a 65-incher. There are a lot of different options, but none of them are from this year that I've recommended so far. Paul Gonzalez, what's going on, man? You said, glad you're back and feeling better, Q. Yeah, bro, I appreciate that a lot. I really do. It is good to be back. I mean, seriously, like, a lot of you guys were just sitting in prayers and like a lot of well wishes, and it was really great. And we had a lot of you guys, like, I was expecting to come back and see like hella trolling, but all that stuff was already taken care of. So massive shout out to my moderators. You guys have been on it, like making sure the community was clean, that we're actually fostering a community, we're keeping the hatred at the door, you know, where it belongs. We're not letting anybody pollute our space here, where we're just family and we're just doing what we do. So I thank you guys for that, really, I do. And all your prayers were received. I mean, hell, I'd like to believe it helped, you know, in conjunction with my family's prayers, to help, you know, just go forward with feeling better. So I really do appreciate it. Now, you guys want to hear a funny story? I got a funny story for you today. It literally like happened not too long ago, so I feel like I'm gonna share it with you guys, man. Okay, so this is my first day back being 90% mostly better. I'm not 100 yet, but I'm most of the way there to where I can talk, I can walk around and move like normal, but not fully normal. I still need to take medicine and all that other stuff, and like, you know, I need to get well. But the thing here that really shocked me is, like, I go out and I'm like, all right, so for those of you guys out there that don't know, I'm a vegan. I don't eat meat or anything like that. So like, when you need fast food, when you're like, you're really starved or famished, you know, you just eat French fries from like a place that doesn't cross-contaminate. So I went to Chick-fil-A and I'm like, all right, I'll just get, you know, some fries or whatever. So I'm driving in, and this dude freaking like blasts my car, like, because he's walking literally in the road, and he's mad that I didn't like stop. You guys ever seen that one dude that likes to walk in the road, and if you don't stop, they like to give you lip, like, hey, I'm walking here, you know, like that kind of person? Regardless of what's happening around you, regardless of laws, this person thinks the world stops and revolves around them. So the dude just blasts my taillight, you know, and so, you know, already I'm dealing with BS when I get back from, you know, being unwell, and it was just like this crazy thing, and I'm like, wow, this really freaking sucks. It's like, you know, I can't even do anything, you know, I'm like friggin', you know, I'm all right, but I'm not that all right where I could deal with like a full-fledged confrontation, you know? Like I can't fight anybody, obviously. I'm not going to do that. You know, there are laws. I'm not going to jail for that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was crazy. It was like, you know, it just goes to show you, man, like life never gives you a break when you need it the most, you know? And so it's really good to come back here and like have all you guys like Jeff, you know, we appreciate you, you know, David Gonzalez, BitCloud Gaming, Kelly Rivada, like all you guys out there just really showing all the love, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. So I want to say thank you truly from the bottom of my heart for you guys writing all that stuff, sending your prayers. You guys are fantastic, man. It's been great, like just receiving all that love, man. I really do appreciate it. Dat NY Swagger, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. We've got John, what's going on? You said, hey Q, great job with your reviews, keep it up, will do. And we've got Jeff was saying pain you cannot imagine. I believe you. You said have broken arm for days. Damn, that sucks. Dislocated. You said you fixed it yourself, and then you were saying not even close, you would rather have a bullet wound. Yikes. Yeah, I can't actually say I had a broken arm like that, you know. I've broken a bone before, but it was nothing remotely close to, you know, like a legitimate major bone break, like a tibia or like a femur or anything like that. Let alone your arm, like that's crazy. We've got Paige that says, QA, we as a community care for you. Don't forget that you are awesome. Much appreciated. I really do appreciate the support. We've got Basketball Never Stops. You said, glad you're back. I am so glad to be back, most definitely. We've got Moses. You said, hi Quantum / Deadpool. You were saying, do you think that the Sony Z9G with the peak brightness of 4,000 nits too bright for a dark room? And you were saying because people say that 1,500 to 2,000 is enough. Yeah, 4,000 is way too much, honestly, in a dark room. You're not going to need that much, but it's definitely not. I wouldn't do anything with that. I in a dark room, I try to stay away from that. I would lower the brightness a little bit. Though be mindful, the Z9G does have some terrible blooming, so be very careful with that. What's going on, Jeff? What's happening, man? You said glad you're back. The world is right now that you're back. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for that, bro. It's really great to have guys like you, Jeff, man, like that just come out and you show the love, and you know we're a part of a community, and I know it's weird because like I'm this digital guy that always talks through a phone or a camera or wherever you guys are listening, and it's nice to be able to have that support, man. So thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate the support and the love you're sending, man. What's going on, Orlando? What's happening? Paul asks, Quantum, the Costco's has the Vizio 65 P-Series Quantum X for $16.99. You were saying, think that's a good deal, 75-inch or $27.99. You were saying you were debating between the X or the Vizio or the you mean the Hisense H9F. Here's the deal with the Vizio P-Series Quantum X so far, early on. Those are not perfect TVs. So, to my findings, they have been very similar. If you guys haven't seen what I did today with the Vizio P-Series Quantum review, it's very, very similar, guys. Like, the black levels are incredible. They're great. But, again, the viewing angles are trash on it. And you do have audio dropouts that do happen. So, be very careful with that. Upscaling content is trash. Gutter trash. Do not buy this TV if you are, you know, watching cable or lower resolution content. This is not a TV for that. The motion interpolation issues still remain, so it is still pretty jittery and it's not as smooth as you would expect. So there are a slew of issues, and I don't want to drag it through the mud because it definitely does some good things there. But ultimately, I mean, like, I would wait till that thing drops down to like $13.99. That's how much you should pay for the 55-inch. No, that's how much you should pay for the 65-inch. And for the 75-inch, I wouldn't pay more than $19.99 for it. It's not worth more than that, quite frankly. And honestly, better and more exciting things are on the horizon. What's going on? Shy Sin 1, what's happening? I hope I said that name right. You said, hey, welcome, glad you're back. Good to hear. Good to hear you. I'm glad to be back. Appreciate the support, man. And you were saying, is there a Quantum TV less than $1,000? I think you can find a couple of them, but so far, like, not a whole lot are great in that price point. So that's definitely something that I think you should, I don't know, maybe look at. I don't know. It's hard because a lot of the TVs now really do suck. I'll try to compile a list of like better better TVs, but I gotta look into that for sure. I'm still recovering, so do be a little patient. And if you guys hear like I'm a little phlegmy and things like that, I'm literally still like recovering, so please be very patient with that. All right. Paul says, have you tried Impossible Burger yet? And you were saying it's plant-based meat alternative, and then you were saying any initial impressions on the new NanoCell. I'll lead with your last question first. The NanoCell so far, bad. I have not seen a good one yet, and I, yes, have seen the SK8000 and 9000. Not the best. Not the best at all. We will definitely be talking about that in the recent, I guess, weeks or whenever I get around to making another video about it. But yeah, it's not good so far at all. It's pretty bad, actually. I mean, like, for the most part, but we'll talk about it, definitely. And have I tried the Impossible Burger yet? I have not tried the Impossible Burger. I've tried the, what is that? The, what is it? Is it the Impossible, does Beyond Meat make the Impossible Burger? Because I know that, like, it's the Beyond Meat one, and then there's the Impossible Burger. I know those two are, like, competing, but, like, I haven't tried the Impossible one. I've tried the one from Beyond Meat. And, they sell 2 in a pack, and they're like, 20 grams of protein a piece. And, that was not good at all. It actually ended up making me sick. It's like everything makes me sick. But, yeah, no. And it had this weird smell to it, too. It was, like, very odd. Like, every time you fried it, it was very weird. So, yeah, I didn't jive with that one at all. What's going on, Anadoc, what's happening? You said, hi, Q, what's going on, bro? Hey, man, it's good to be back. I appreciate the love. David, what's going on? You were saying, Paul, you're right. Vizio P-Series Quantum has reduced in price. Yeah, I want to talk about that for a second here. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be tempted by the new price drop of the Vizio P-Series Quantum. I'm going to tell you, like I told you guys last year when they did this, Vizio is dropping the prices because there are problems with those TVs. People are returning those TVs. That is indicative of what is happening. You do not see OLEDs going down like that. The new C9, you don't see the new QLEDs dropping in price to that degree. They're plummeting in price like that because there's something wrong with those TVs. And I know there are people that will try to play devil's advocate and be like, well, not necessarily. Every sale doesn't necessarily mean that. Trust me when I tell you I've seen, at this point, both of the Vizio P-Series. It's not a good look for Vizio this year as far as reliability and other little key things. Like, of course, there are the other things, like I've mentioned in my review, like you don't have an app store. You're solely basing your voice control features off of us already owning Alexa or Google Assistant and things like that. And then, like, all the other sketchy stuff they do with reviews, and like the list goes on. Like, Vizio is not there yet, and people are catching on. Like, they just paid $2,000 for a Vizio, and it does less than that Samsung for the same $2,000. So that's just where it's at. And the same thing can be said about buying the Sony too. Honestly, even with the blooming, the Sony X950G is a better TV, and I would do that in a heartbeat over this new Vizio. And that's just like the way it is. Like, if you only care about black levels, then maybe, but even still, like, I don't know, man. You could find an OLED on sale for the same amount of money. I've seen the B8 for $13.98. And if you wait patiently, they even drop down into the $1,200 price range. Like, I got my E8 for $1,295 before taxes. So you don't really have to spend top dollar for a lot of these higher end products. You just got to be a little patient. So I don't know. I would wait a little bit on the Vizio for sure. What's going on, Nick? What's happening? You said, good to hear your voice, Quantum. You're a true bro. Stay strong. I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like, no BS, dude. Like, it sucked lying there, like, being freaking powerless. Like, I'm an active personality. I'm always out. I'm always doing something in the world, active. And it sucked to be, like, bedridden, and you can't do anything, and you're at the mercy of others, and it's like, oh my god. I mean, Jesus Christ. It was the worst thing for me as a person. Like, it's like, kill me now. Like, it was terrible. And then the fact that they didn't know what was going on, all they could tell you is, like, your health is in critical condition, you're not doing very good, you need to get whatever, this is taken care of. We're glad you came to us. You waited any longer, this would have been really bad type deal. And they're just, like, very vague. They never gave any specifics as to what exactly it was. They couldn't find the strand of virus that it was. They throw out medical terms I couldn't repeat, because you guys know how they, master folliculite, whatever, hypochondrodraculosis, whatever. They come up with the weirdest combinations of names, and I don't know what the hell it means. So of course they can't just say, hey dude, you're about to die, like, But that's what my brain registered when they were just looking at me with that look like, you poor guy, you know? So that's kind of like how I figured it out. But ultimately, it is what it is, man. Now, we've got more support coming in from Sayashin. You were saying, no, you're saying, wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah, I'm doing okay so far. I'm at 90%. Still a little flimmy, but the headache does come and go. But for the most part, I'm doing all right now, so it is good to hear. What's going on, Ari? You said, hey, Quantum, so happy you're feeling better. You're saying, how are you, bro? I'm doing most definitely better than I was for the last week. It was the worst, but it is better now, so I do appreciate you reaching out to me, man, most definitely. Jean-Pierre, what's happening, man? You said, I'm a vegetarian, have contemplated becoming vegan, but I don't feel I'm ready for that at the moment. Yeah, I mean, that can definitely be a scary transition. Like, I can safely say, like, I used to be a meat eater like almost everybody watching right now, and it was hard for me. Like, I was a dick. I was that guy that everybody hated. Like, there was a point where I called my wife weak because she didn't want to eat meat on the plate. I was like, stop being weak about it. I mean, it's food, just eat it. Like, I was a terrible person about it, and like, it goes from that to now being like, oh my god, like, I would never freaking say anything close to that. And you know, even still this day, I apologize like a gazillion and one times because I feel like such a piece of garbage for that. But it's a hard leap to make, dude. It really is. But like, it's like, for me, like, the only thing I do, dairy, cut out any part that would be harmful and replace it with something else. And it's literally, in this day and age, fortunately for us, as easy as switching a label. You just got to find the label to buy, dude. Like, if you ever need help with making the transition, as somebody who's been vegan now for about 3.5 years, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not as hard as you think. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I was scared, bro, because people were telling me, like, you know, when you go vegan, you're going to die, right? You're going to have, like, no protein, right? How do you get your protein? And like, I had to learn everything. It was hard, dude. Like, but the thing is, like, broccoli actually has more protein than, like, any piece of steak, dude. Like, it's crazy. Like, per pound, like, it's way more healthy for you. And so, like, I had to learn bit by bit, but once I did, I was, like, good to go, dude. Like, it was, like, I was banging it out. And, like, now, I actually I'm 1 pound below my normal meat-eating weight. Back when I was eating meat, I used to be an average of, like, you know, 150 pounds. So, you know, now I'm only like a pound below that. So it's not even that bad at all. What's going on, Jeff? You said looking for an 80+ incher, and you were asking if the Q8FN. Between the Q8, now is it the Q9FN or is it just the Q9? And you were saying the Q90R and the 950F. I would honestly limit it down to, out of those options, the Q9FN, the Q8FN, and I wouldn't go for the Q900. I would not do that, or the 950G, out of those particular options. And I would lean heavily towards the Q8FN for color and the Q9FN for pretty much everything else. And you're saying looking for an amazing upscaler, since people really watch more broadcast than anything. And yeah, if you're watching broadcast, the Samsung's definitely going to be better with cleaning a lot of that stuff up. What's going on, Kelly? You said, Jean-Pierre, try going white meat only, or maybe just vegetarian. Baby steps is king. That's really good advice. I mean, like, you can't just jump off the deep end and go, hey, you know, today I eat meat, tomorrow I'm a vegan, like, or vegetarian. Like, it does not work that way. Even I had to wean off of meat, like, you know, baby steps is right. So, hey, shout out to Kelly for that great advice. Cali Style, what's going on? You said, hey, Q, glad you're feeling better. I appreciate that. You're saying, I'm leaning on the Q8FN. You said in an earlier video that it was the best TV that you've ever owned. Do you still believe that? And is that the TV I should get? Yes, I still believe the Q8FN is the best TV I've ever owned. Even though I'm enjoying my OLED experience so far, it still runs the risk of permanent burn-in. I'm the only person that'll be the most real about that. I'm not going to tell you it shouldn't be a risk if you take care of your stuff and all that pretentious talk. It's a risk. It's going to damage eventually. I know the risks, right? But the reality is the Q8FN is every bit as vibrant, more vibrant, brighter. There are details you just don't get, and there are some things, like, as far as like peak highlight detail especially, that really go amiss. Like, even now, like, I really wish the OLED was brighter for certain content, because you miss the bright glow of a candle, or, you know, a campfire at night. Like, those things do go amiss. And honestly, overall, you do have better features on at least the Q8FN. I can't speak for the new QLEDs because those are total trash now. 2019 was a joke for QLED, but the last ones are better, especially with the HDR plus mode. That's legit, and yeah, I still would go for it. Like, I would do it all over again. Like, if I had the choice, I totally would do it. The only thing I probably would change would be maybe trying to go with a 65-incher, but that's a maybe thing. That NY Swagger, what's going on? You said, hey, Q8, you said, do your E8 have a Dolby Atmos sound? Yeah, I have the Dolby Atmos soundbar. I have the Sony X, what is it? What do I have? The Z9F soundbar. So I have the Z9F soundbar to my LG OLED, and yeah, so I do have Dolby Atmos sound. I don't have any problems whatsoever. I'm good to go in that regard. What's going on, Lewis? What's happening? You said, hey, Mr. Deadpool, do you recommend me the QLED Q8FN for the next gen consoles? I mean, is it a good option? It's a fantastic option, and you will be good for quite a while. What's going on, Jean Pierre? Response to Kelly says, I'm never going back to meat. Been vegetarian for years, but don't feel ready for vegan. Maybe in the future. Yeah, you know, it all depends. It's like baby steps. I'm sure like eventually, like, you'll be comfortable with where you are comfortable being. Like, if all you ever do accomplish is being a vegetarian, then, you know, that's good too. So, I mean, really, any little bit kind of helps, I guess. We've got Paul Gonzalez says, thank you for your insight. Kimmy Master said, glad to see you're okay. I appreciate the support and the love sent in our way. Thank you. We've got DY or Dat NY Swagger. You said, do you think it's MS? Not sure what MS is. Ari, what's going on? You said no problem. You're welcome. So happy you're here, bro. I appreciate being here, most definitely. Kelly says, Jean Pierre, buy Earth Balance and almond milk. Good tip there. Paul, what's going on? You said, I believe Burger King was selling the Impossible Whopper. You said, glad you're better. Make sure you check it. Yeah, definitely got to make sure the health is in order, so I definitely appreciate it. We have Nitrous, what's going on? You said excited for Borderlands 3. Haven't tried Borderlands 3 or even 1, believe it or not. Fred, what's happening? You said just purchased the A9F. Just wanted to know if you have nice settings. I don't have any settings for that particular television at this time. Gene, what's going on? You said, wow, that's amazing. You said, thanks for sharing. I guess I'm probably addicted to dairy. I do like honey as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm a dairy-free vegan, I guess, if you could really call myself. I make a joke with my wife. I say I'm a dairy-free vegetarian because sometimes, I mean, I do partake in honey. So I guess I am not really vegan because I like honey too. So I guess that's kind of like my little weakness there. So I'm not really one to talk in that area. What's going on, Chris? You said, do you have any recommendations for soundbars? The Sony Z9F has done me justice, and that's what I usually recommend. What's going on, Jean Pierre? You said, Kelly Ravad, yeah, baby steps is good until I get the big inspiration to let dairy and honey go. Hey, bro, if you're looking for inspiration, I'm going to tell you what did it for me. Look up what happens and how they get the milk to Jersey cows. Look up Jersey cows, dude. I literally watched a guy walk up to a Jersey cow, and they did like a documentary on it and everything. The cow was like a couple days old, and dude walked right up to him with a gun, blew him in the head, and was like, they're considered waste. Like, that was enough for me to be like, done. On top of course, visiting slaughterhouses and things like that, and like actually meeting cows and seeing that they're like babies. They're like so docile. Like, they're like rabbits, dude, like bunny rabbits. They're like very docile animals. So yeah, man. Jeff, what's going on? You said TCL 2919. Whoa, that's weird. You said series. You said out. You said, do you think their panel is improving? I think TCL definitely might improve this year, hopefully, but I don't want to give them any extra credit. Multiple sclerosis, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I would most definitely hope everything is in order and there's nothing that crazy. Mark, what's going on? You said Q8FN update 1300. Did it help the picture quality? Not sure, to be entirely honest with you. I don't remember all the firmware updates. I think I'm still on like 12 something, so I actually haven't even done some of the newer firmware updates. And what's going on, Paige? You said Bye friends, have to go. Bye QA, I appreciate you stopping by. Paige, thanks for showing the support today. Ryan says, any chance you can do a calibration on the LG SK9000? Not unless I get it in. It'd be really, really hard to do. Otherwise, there's just no way that I could do that. And even then, like giving out like straight calibration settings would be kind of inaccurate because you can copy settings, not calibration. So it gets a little gray and a little hard to cover. But yeah, I mean, as always, I'll try to do whatever I can. Sky, what's happening? You said straight vegan here. My man, what's happening? I feel you. You're at a level that I am trying to get to. I appreciate you giving me more inspiration to do the right thing. I got my wife here bashing balloons into the ceiling, and she's looking at me. She's like, why would you tell them that? She's like so embarrassed right now. She's adorable. What's going on? Sky, you said you should do a side-by-side with the C8 versus the E8. I no longer have the C8. I dumped it for the E8, but I totally would do it. I mean, maybe I might be able to pull something up. I don't know. It just depends. I'll see what I can do on that front. John, what's happening? You said 2 questions. You said price aside, which of the 2 TVs are better? Vizio P-Series, Quantum 2019 or 2018? 2018 most definitely. Now, if you're talking about just the regular P-Series, then obviously it would be the brand new one from this year. Jean-Pierre says, yeah, I watched some of your videos a year ago. You're saying they're awful, so sad and horrific. I need to watch them again to get inspiration to shake off congestive dissonance. Whatever does it for you. We've got John. What's going on? You said, and what is better? What is better than the 2019 Vizio P-Series? Not sure this time. I haven't compiled a list of everything. And then we've got Seth. You said Z9F worth 1,200. The television itself, no. I mean, even though that's a relatively low price for a quotation mark Master Series Sony, I still wouldn't pay that for it. So, you know, food for thought there. All right, so that's all for today, guys. I appreciate all the well-wishing and all you guys showing the love and the support. I really do appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. For everybody who sent prayers my way and helped me out, I'm doing better. I'm definitely going to be uploading more videos in the days to come. And with that, I want to thank you guys for everything. And until the next time that we do our video, I will see you guys later.